Hey y'all. So I'm back, and I guess I am going to do a bit more writing. I've got some boards that I want to eval and play around with later, but I'll do that later. Yeah, I'm going to wait for girlfriend to come over, and we'll probably do that part together. So instead, for now, we're going to do things. My brain is going to do brain things. Brain things. Ooh. Okay. Whatever. Computer garbage. All right. Yeah, right. So we're going to work on Dask book, specifically Chapter 9, which is how to evaluate Dask's components and libraries. And it's been a long time since I worked on this. There's only 2 pages. It needs a lot more work, but yeah. Let's figure out where I left off and see if we can make a bit of progress. Yeah. All right, and I was also going to put on some 8-bit chiptune music because I like Spotify, royalty-free chip music. Chiptune 8-bit, copyright-free. Yes, I would like this for Twitch streams. Please load. And play. Heck yeah. Okay. Zoom in. Yeah, well, let's go. Dask is largely a community-driven open source project, and its components evolve at different rates. Not all parts of Dask are created equally, and even components we cover in this book have different levels of support and development. Dask's core parts are well tested. Some parts are fundamentally untested. You're considering using This is not to say that commercial software does not suffer from the same, but closed source software does not suffer from the same challenges. Better place to evaluate just realized, like, after reading the first paragraph, I got like kind of a like open source is bad vibe, and like that's definitely not what I'm going for. Like, everything sucks, everything's terrible, and in open source we have the opportunity to look and figure out which things are terrible. Are fundamentally less maintained. Building, yeah, are less maintained. If you find yourself less maintained or developed part defensive programming and thorough testing of your code Okay, so we've kind of got this broken down into qualitative and quantitative metrics. Yeah. To help you evaluate, rather than simply share our views of what components of Dask are currently well developed, this chapter aims to give you the tools to evaluate evaluate components, evaluate libraries you may be considering using. Because this approach since we believe that it's a bit more work for you. As Dask is under such active level of development, any static table of what is production ready would quickly go outdated. Okay. Broadly speaking, we separate in this chapter. Oh, hello, IK. In this chapter, we can separate out metrics that measure more concretely from the fuzzier qualitative metrics. We believe that qualitative metrics are, in most cases, more important than the pure quantitative ones. Whatever. I can drop that sentence actually, because while I do believe it, it doesn't. That's up to the reader can decide what they care about. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. Quantitative metrics for software, and closed source. Focus on the ones that you can easily find and benefit from. Yeah. Okay. Am I familiar with category? I mean, I would say familiar, yes, but I wouldn't go be familiar is probably like the limit of what I would be willing to say. I am familiar with category theory and functional programming. I have a math degree, but honestly, everything's kind of fuzzy. Yeah. 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 Instead of depending heavily on the number of package installs, we like to look and see if we can find examples of people building examples of people using the libraries to achieve. Or what's the new? Okay, Steve. Yeah, the source search engine. Source graph. Yeah. Oh. That's a great question. I would say at this point in my life, it's probably a tie between Scala and Python. Early on in my life, it would have been Perl. Yeah, but I really like Scala and Python, and that's why those are probably my main go-tos. That's a great question. Scala is... I really like Scala. But the community around it has a lot of challenges, I would say. And so that's been not the greatest. Yeah. The Python people have been some of the, specifically Python data folks, have been some of the most welcoming, thoughtful people that I have encountered in industry. And while I don't like the Python programming language as much, I love the Python community, and I am forever grateful for being able to be a part of it. I think they're really great folks. Is often the project's source control. How do I say something like internal to the project, like it's an inherent part of the project rather than like library usage. Well, okay. Code and best practices. Okay. Unfortunately, installations is also a noisy metric. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of really great stuff on LeanPub. I think Yasik might have something on LeanPub. Let's take a look. Yasik. Yeah, so Yasik has some stuff on LeanPub that I haven't taken, like I haven't looked at this in too much detail. But Yasik produces really great, admittedly like a little bit kind of like, I would say internals focused, but really solid content. Managed to get I don't know other things that are particularly similar to LeanPub. I know, like, there's individual authors who I know of, like so Paco Nathan. I really like his content and his writing style, and so I often read the things that he writes. I think it's really good. And he does some really interesting sort of experiments in finding different ways to present and teach content. He did some interesting stuff with combining notebooks for instructional usage along with like Docker files and stuff. It was really cool. I am going to take a very quick bio break. I will be right back in like a few minutes. And installation counts are a nice metric. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna quick bio break. I'm gonna come back. I'll figure out what to write down around mailing list or discussion frequency. Be right back. Yeah, I am back. Let's go back to live. Burp, burp, burp. Relock the camera. There we go. Okay. Another way to measure, installation count is limited in that looking for examples of people using a library has its limitations, especially with data processing. Maybe. When we consider data and machine learning pipelines are not as frequently open source, looking just at the usages in public may give you a smaller sample. Wow, that's a really long time. I know it's frequently open source. Another proxy for usage you can look at is the frequency of issues I do love Coca-Cola. Although personally, I'm more of a Mountain Dew girl, but you know, different strokes for different folks. It's Timbit barking a lot, so I'm wondering if that's because Beth just got here. So I'm just going to check my phone really quickly and see. Nope, she is still not yet here. We're mailing us posts. Mailing us posts. Open sourced. Finding examples can be harder for libraries used for those purposes. Oh, thanks. Some ways to if people are generally rude on the mailing list or in the issue tracker, this can be a sign that the community is not as welcoming to new members. Test coverage numbers can be especially informative, but unfortunately, for projects built on top of systems like Dask, getting accurate test coverage information is a challenge. So instead, looking to see if there are tests. Instead, a more qualitative approach is often needed here. Okay, insert footnote. Let's explain why in a footnote. This is because most of the tools that check code coverage assume that there is only one Python VM attached to parts of code executed. However, in the distributed system, this is no longer the case. That's a great question. Automated tools. I honestly tend to not use debuggers, and that's a personal preference. I think PDB is really good. I've seen people do really, really great things with some of the Java debuggers, but I don't know what it is about my brain, but I prefer a different style of debugging. So far. So we'll do this as a note. So in general, I'm fortunate and don't have to deal with memory leaks very often. And when I do, they're often of the sort where a debugger would be very challenging. What tends to happen when I am dealing with a memory leak is I'll end up getting a dump from the process of all of the different types of objects and their counts, and then I'll end up investigating that a bunch. But I'm very, very fortunate that I tend to not have to deal with that too often. There's times when like I'll write micro benchmarks and profile them, and those are useful, but you know, actually fundamentally most of the time, something like time it is honestly good enough for the situations that I'm working on. Scala has a lot less memory leaks than other systems. Yeah. The project is hosted on something like GitHub. Stars can also be an interesting way of measuring usage, but don't weight this feature too heavily. Have I had any revolutionary moments in my career? I mean, yeah. Inspiring. I mean, like there's things which are like really important to me in my career that have happened. Like there's like when I became a Spark committer, which is something that I worked towards for a really long time. There's like the first time. Yeah. Yeah. There's becoming a ASF member. Technical moments, I mean, I don't know if they're inspiring, but like there's things that I've done that I found very enjoyable um, from a technical perspective, like super satisfying. Like one of the things that I've done that will be one of my prouder accomplishments from a technical standpoint is the work that I did to make dynamic scaling on Kubernetes for Spark easier. And that involved some things that I thought of like literally years ago, and then all of the stars finally aligned, and I had the time to work on it, and I had a job at a place where it was the right thing for us to do as a company. And so that was really lovely. There was also the time that a person who I'd been mentoring became a Spark committer. It's happened more than once. And those times are really special, I think. I think that's part of getting older too, is like sometimes now my accomplishments are helping other people accomplish things. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would say there was like some early magic that was surprisingly important, wherein when I went to university, I ran into this professor who was very caring, and he happened to be teaching Scheme instead of Java, and he made Scheme sound really cool, and so I went down that rabbit hole, and that's probably part of what's led me to here, is because having that background, like I thought and I still think functional programming is really cool, and a lot of things come back to that. Also, like I was maybe not what one would describe as a good academic student, and I have learning disability, which I don't talk about a huge amount, but it's just part of who I am. And he very, very helpfully helped go to bat for me sometimes. Sorry. I mean, I would say honestly, like, favorite topic. So I really liked, my favorite class ever was that Intro to CS class, done in Scheme, because it just, like, it'd been programming for a long time, and it just gave me a different way of looking at problems and thinking about things, and that was really great. I like distributed systems. I think they're really cool and fun. I like thinking about them. I think what else? What else is there? ML stuff. Honestly, like ML is kind of cool, but like it's not something that really particularly like excites me in the same way. Like I really like distributed systems, which I'll admit is weird. Like it's like, you know, a lot of what people do with the things I build is ML, and that's really cool, and I think it's really neat. But I don't have the same passion for it that I do for building these systems. Okay, these are, I'm going to move down to qualitative. I'm going to go back up here, quantitative, we've got library usage, code and best practices. Okay. Oh yeah, I do have personal projects related to distributed systems, right? Like Space Beaver, I built the backend using Ray, and specifically the actor model with Ray in a distributed fashion, because it's something that I thought was really cool. I wanted to play with it. Controversial. Potentially controversial. Well, no, whatever. Fuck it. Skip it. Let's just go for this. Well, the Python community as a whole has been less. Okay. The presence of I don't know of a great course for distributed systems. I'm sure that Matej, if he teaches one, or Jan Stoika, teach excellent classes on it. I've never done a class on distributed systems particularly. Actually, that's not true. I did do one class on distributed systems, and that was interesting for teaching me about distributed locks and stuff. That was useful. I didn't do super well in that class, but you know, a roadmap would be nice. I don't have one off the top of my head, but my plan, another chapter that is on the roadmap, is let's see if I can grab this. Chapter 9, which is key distributed systems concepts for Dask users, and no, it's all right. I will write about that more later. I just not there right now. Is this chapter? Whatever. I guess this is chapter 10 now, actually, yeah. So I should rename it. Let's rename it. Chapter 10. And I'll try and get to the other chapters soon. But it's probably honestly going to take me like a few weeks, maybe, I don't know. It'll probably take me a week to finish this chapter. Am I going anywhere this weekend? I feel like I am. Oh yeah, I'm going to KubeCon. But yeah, I should probably have some time to write. I don't have my own Discord. I do have a Discord account, but like I don't have a Discord server. Maybe I should make one? I don't know. Yeah, maybe I will make one. Yeah, well, Python types, if a library is well typed, and type checking is part of the release process. The presence of types is a positive sign. Typing is frequently considered a programming best practice, with some detractors. Checking maybe from the user point of view, a well-typed library most of these feel qualitative. Do I use design patterns consciously? Sometimes, not super frequently. But yeah, there's times when I'm like consciously using singleton patterns or consciously doing other things. Yeah. Singleton, lazy initialization, producer consumer is a design pattern that I use pretty frequently. Lazy write through. They're nice. Some caching ones too. Yeah. For larger projects, are all grad students in the same research lab or company. The risk that the software is abandoned increases. It can matter. Let's go with where the contributors are. Yeah. This is not to say that a single company or even single person open source projects are bad, but you should adjust your expectations to match. Have I always been good at public speaking? Oh God, no. No. That's something I would say I guess I'm good at it nowadays. I would say it's something that you do a lot of, and then yeah, that's totally normal. Totally normal. Giving demos is a skill, distinct from building the software or even just using it. Well-typed library. that libraries of well, the arguments for and against types inside a data pipeline against static types. Data pipelines are complex. Typing at the library level is something one should expect. Code best practices. Yeah. Coding style is subjective. The nicest people. Doesn't matter. What's another one? I was thinking about it, but I didn't say it out loud, and my memory's garbage, so I don't remember it. Push notification. Push notification says KK. Have I ever considered working with DNA sequencing? I don't directly, but I do know that some people use some of the tools that I build to do DNA sequencing. They build tools on top of it. I think that's kind of cool. But like, I haven't ever taken the time to really understand the details. Yeah. Okay. Oh, right. Yeah. The kind of community and its priorities. Useful? I don't know. If you are not enjoying the work, you're less likely to be productive at it. Whatever. Some projects prioritize performance numbers, other projects can prioritize correctness and clarity, while others may prioritize completeness. What is the right situation? In our view, projects README, the homepage, is often a good sign of what it prioritizes. In Apache Spark's case, the homepage I don't actually know. Early creation, Apache Spark's homepage included benchmarks, which show the focus on performance. Whereas now it shows ecosystem of tools leaning more towards completeness. Let's go ahead. Dask, Kubernetes, GitHub. Dask, Kubernetes. GitHub shows collection of badges indicating the state of the code, but not much else. Showing a strong developer focus. GitHub README. Yeah. In our opinion, well, there are many arguments for and against. Focuses on benchmarks. One important correctness is something which should never be sacrificed. other projects should take reports of correctness issues seriously and treat them with higher priority than others. Take your time to see if a project values correctness is to look for issue reports of correctness and observe how developers respond. This is a very fluffy chapter, but I don't know how to write this in a way that isn't fluffy. Presence of code of conduct, documentation. Test culture. Oh, damn. You should get some rest, maybe. I will do more things during the day. I hope you sleep well. And good luck on your adventures. Thanks. Actually, let's see here. How long have I been doing this? Yeah, actually just about an hour. You know what? Fuck it. This is a good time to take a break. It's still really short. Still only at 4 pages. I mean, really, we're at 3 pages, and there's no code includes. I think. Ooh, yeah, okay. I'm gonna make some notes for myself, though. Actually, before we wrap up today. To do, colon, add a figure here showing search for some sample queries. Fiverr, GitHub stars. I'm like 90% sure. Yeah. Screenshot. Take screenshot. Okay, let's see if it'll paste for me. Cool. Okay. Alright. Documentation test culture. Yeah, okay, well, that's some progress. You know what, though? Also, if anyone is interested, and no pressure, anyone with the link can comment. Actually, yeah, no, whatever. We'll finish a draft. We'll finish a draft. So let's do that, and I'll circle back to this in a little bit. Because it's been a little bit over an hour, and I'm getting tired, as is pretty usual. And I'll maybe go play with my circuit boards or something instead. Bye, y'all.